Ladies and gentlemen, up until now you've seen the creature perform the simple mechanics of motor activity, but for what you are about to see next, we must enter quietly into the realm of genius. Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, Damen und Herren, from what was once an inarticulate mass of lifeless tissues, may I now present a cultured, sophisticated man about town. Hit it!
The Sketch-O-Matic Show.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you, all three of you here, enjoying the Sketch-O-Matic Show, the first of the Sketch-O-Matic Show podcast. Really more of a trailer. This is kind of just to let you get to know me, Sketch-O-Matic, and what the show's going to be about. Really, I don't even know yet. I'm just giving it a shot because everybody else and their uncles has a podcast, and I figure, well, what the hell? I got this voice, I got all this computer equipment, and I'm pretty fucking good at doing this production shit. So, why not, right? I put out a post earlier on my Instagram asking folks, topics, questions, what they had in mind for me to talk about, if they had anything in mind for me to talk about. So let's get to it right here. Let's cut to the chase. Weed topics, abso-fucking-lutely. That's what I already replied. Shout out to my man Josh over at MMD.
Bong hit.
How you found your current job and some of your favorite experiences. No doubt. I got stories for days. I basically owe it to all one person. And the next question is experience of working in radio. Well, I got a lot of that too. I've been working in radio for quite some time. I'll give you the complete rundown backstory. And finally, who is Sketch, the man, the myth, the legend? Well, I can definitely say who Sketch is, and probably the man part. I'm not even sure if I'm really the man. I think I'm a soon-to-be woman, possibly a they or a them. However, I also do a lot of voices, and I do a lot of production. I do a lot of imaging, what's known in the radio world as imaging, audio imaging. It's not imaging with graphics. There is imaging, visual imaging, and then there's radio audio imaging. And that's like the stuff you hear on radio stations in between the songs. I also produce commercials part-time as well. And I produce imaging for Premiere Networks Chase Cuts. I also produce for Big Boy. And, again, I'm going to get into all that. I'm going to get into the back stories of each different gig that I do, how I got there, who helped me along the way. I've led a difficult but very interesting and rewarding life so far in my 44 years of being on this planet.
The Earth sucks.
And I'm grateful for each and every one of those times that I had to really suffer because it shaped me into the person that I am. And I'm grateful for all the hard struggles and experiences I've had to go through because it truly makes me grateful for the fortunate blessings I do have today. All right. So with that, I don't have any guests because this is my first little shot at this podcast stuff. And I figured, well, it's just me. It's only me. I'm going to go ahead and interview me since I don't have any guests. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Sketch-O-Matic. Sketch live on the phone, calling in from somewhere. Sketch,
hey.
Can you hear me? Are you there?
I can hear you.
Great. So where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from the Nook.
Ah, yes, is the Nook.
Yeah.
Is that a company of sorts?
The Kitchen Nook, where you're at.
Kitchen Nook. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I guess so technically we'd be in the same place.
Obviously, we're the same person, so
True.
There's that.
We are the same.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But why don't you go ahead and tell them about where you're podcasting from, Sketch?
I basically Mickey Moused my studio here. I'm working from home these days. The radio company I work for is going through some studio changes. They're rebuilding some stuff. So there wasn't a whole lot of office space for me to be at the station physically in person. So they went ahead and sent me home and with all the equipment. And basically I set up my home studio out of my kitchen nook in my magnificent, tremendously large palace of a studio apartment Really, it's just a shoebox, but it does the trick.
Yes.
And it's pretty cozy.
Yes, it's also fascinating sketch. You should tell them about the time when you were hanging up the sound paneling in your kitchen nook and you didn't hang it up right, and the sound paneling literally paranormal activity jumped off the wall.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up, Sketch.
what happened?
So one day, I was setting up my sound paneling on the walls, measuring them so they'd be even. As I was marking the wall, I didn't have it supported right. And in an instant, I turned my back just to reach for the little pencil so I could mark where to put the nail at. And the soundboard jumped off the wall, knocking everything over. But luckily, I was able to slide my foot right underneath it right before impact. I mean, talk about Bruce Lee timing. It was quite horrendous and very traumatic. I almost wanted to cry because I felt so bad for the computer, thinking that I'd lost all my information, all my data, all my audio files. The hard drives took a nosedive off the desk onto the floor. I wasn't sure those survived. Setting up a podcast is not easy. Doing a podcast is even harder because if you don't have a guest like me and I'm just talking to myself on the phone. Sketch, you still there? Sketch.
Hey, what's up, Scott? I'm still here. I was falling asleep.
Yes, sorry.
You really know how to ramble on and on forever.
I know. You're right.
Are you going to arrive at the point?
Okay.
I got things to do.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to wrap it up.
Please, today, Sketch.
All this and probably nothing more, unless I get some guests. I'll be working on that. But until then, I appreciate you guys checking out the trailer, the Sketch-O-Matic Show podcast. Hopefully coming soon with a real episode.
Yes.
Anything else, Sketch, on the phone?
We got to get out of here. You got to do some promos. You still got to work even though it's the weekend. Episode 1 coming soon. The Sketch-O-Matic Show. Spread the word.
Until then, good night and good luck.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Good one, Sketch. You just totally didn't steal that from Ed Murrow.
I know, but nobody really knows who that is.
Right. Well, somebody out there is going to Google that.
I mean, are they, though? Nobody's listening.
Good point.
The Sketch-O-Matic Show.
Hey, too much information and shit, man.
Shut your mouth, essay.
Okay, bye.